Hey, graduates, wagwan, wagwan. Big up and a nice clean self. Yes, we are live on different platforms today. Big up yourself, yeah, baby of a Facebook. I see you. I see you guys. I see you. I see you, right? Let me put on my face a little bit so I can see stand up here when I talk to. You understand? Hi. Hola, hola. How is everybody doing? Yeah. First, may I try out this? Going on more than one platform. Soon I'll go on three. I'm starting with two, Facebook and YouTube. You don't know, right? Facebook and YouTube. So I can see myself. Let me check out how it look on my phone. Mad. Yeah, I can see it there. All right. Yeah, so make sure that as you come in, you like up the live. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Island Breeze. Big up yourself, Phyllis Barrett. I see you. Yes, we're gonna go into a discussion today, a pretty serious discussion actually, cause more often know how it is that nobody no really talk about this. And you know what I find interesting, is that when people who are a certain personality or look a certain way or talk a certain way, when they come out and they make certain allegations or they say something, it's dismissed. And straight away, people are talking about, well, we don't have no proof, we don't have no evidence. And I would like to know when, since it takes evidence and proof for you to speak on your truth. There is something really wrong with the mindset of some Jamaican people where we feel like for a woman to come out and say that she has been um essayed or raped by a man, she have to come. What you no want her to do? Come with pictures of it, or you know what video, or what exactly do you guys want as evidence? Is what I am going to ask, right? And then there's also this attitude of, after how many years? Why is it that you're coming out now? We like to say those kind of things. Big up yourself, Stush Boutique from over Facebook. Big up yourself, Olivine Campbell. We like to say those kind of things. How is it that um you know after all these years you're suddenly coming out and you're suddenly talking about this, and it's something yeah look, a money yeah look, a fame yeah look, a knowings yeah look, a followers yeah look, subscribers yeah look. You understand? And the discourse can get lost in accusations like this. It can get lost in accusations like this because you get caught up with trying to not advocate for something just because you are afraid of what other people are going to say. But some of us are braver than that, right? Um, and do not believe that things like this, once they're brought to the fore, should be silenced. So afternoon, Vanessa Grant, big up yourself. Black people on a whole, they never want to believe, they condone it. It's in their family, they don't want to talk about it. Talk the things them, na Shamel. Exactly. Is it Shamel? I hope I pronounced your name properly. Look like this, look screen beautiful. Thank you, Sandy Isaacs. Yeah. So Pretty Nikki came out, and I've been watching her for some time. I follow Pretty Nikki and kids. I've been following her platform, and I always notice that this girl, she seems to get a lot of fight. Left, right, and center, she gets a lot of fight. And it's interesting. Okay, her personality is quite vivacious and out there, right? And I don't think it's a woman that you can bully too easily on social media. She's very outspoken. Um, and what I like about her is the fact that she's always been trying for her kids, and she's never been less than honest when it comes to her life, right? Um, so a video came out about a week ago where she made some allegations against Beenie Man. And in those allegations that were made against Beenie Man, I looked at the comments, and when I saw the comments, I said to myself, "Ratted, I saw it there." The Jamaican women, in particular, were up and down in the comments talking about whether or not them think she's a liar. Of course, straight away, the penchant of our community is the victim blame. So nine times out of 10, the people on the comments were basically saying that she's a liar, she a look clout, she a defame the man name. It was an instant shift to victim blaming, to the point where the girl has taken down her allegations from her TikTok. But you know how the internet stay. Once you put something out, it's out and it never stop. I did reach out to her on multiple occasions, but I think she's very wary of me. She hasn't responded, but that's fine. We're still gonna talk about the situation, right? Because you don't know, so we not do it for the likes, we do it for the love. And when it comes to how Jamaica continues to treat victims of such lewd and lascivious acts, we continue to be advocates when it comes to the J for J movement, and we not stop and we not back down. You understand? Big up yourself, Rosemary Lunan. I see you. Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna first of all we're gonna listen to what Pretty Nikki had to say about Beenie Man, and we're gonna explore a little bit more. Because to me, they like to ask the question about, are these allegations true or are they false? Nobody can tell whether or not those allegations are true or false, excepting the people who are involved in the situation. Um, Nikki, as the alleged victim, is the one who came out and shared her experience with the public. That Beenie Man tried to force himself on her. Now, Beenie Man, as you know, is one of our um, icons of reggae music, and he has been embroiled in a lot of conflict recently. Somebody made a funny comment saying that them I wonder if Beenie Man a go through menopause because appear things he must say what I'm not supposed to say. Beenie Man depon whether or not Trinidad Trinidad food, what the food name? Doubles. Whether or not doubles bathe in a dead water or whatever, not even dog we eat it. He has subsequently come out and he has apologized about it, right? But um he also came out and he was claiming that he is the king of dancehall. Um, and he shaded Vibes Cartel in the process. So, that happened. And then obviously his daughter came out and she said what she had to say about him, right? So, yes, he has recently been involved in a lot. And now we have this situation. Now, what I find interesting is how more or less quiet the internet is about it. And I'm thinking, is it because it's Beenie Man? Why don't want to talk about the things then? Why not avoid this? Eh? When I would talk about everything else, why only don't want to talk about this? You've not seen evidence in any other of the allegations when it comes to molestation, other than if they've been arrested and you get a public arrest report. So while it can be hearsay, we know this, and it can be defamation. This is a young lady who is currently struggling with her immigration matters in the United States of America. And I do not see why it is that she would put herself at risk even further legal persecution by coming out here with a completely manifested story, totally fabricated, just for clout. Hey, JM Press, big up yourself, right? Hi, Pi Gordon. What's up? Galsa nice, Monsieur. Good afternoon indeed. It's nice to see my Facebook people on as well as my YouTube people on. So yeah, so when I listened to it, I listened to it carefully. I also listened to when she further explained what took place. And I'm going to share that with my audience um, so that you can give me your opinion about it. Um, and then let's discuss the mindset of some of the commenters when she first disclosed, because we really and truly have got a problem when it comes to how we handle victims of these situations, right? Okay, so let me come off camera so there's no distraction. And I want you to just listen for yourself. I need you to give me a thumbs up if you can hear clearly, because sometimes if my camera is too close to the mic, it creates an echo, right? So hold on a second. And them something there. And he said, what I want music. You know, I talk to him and I ask him the question and them something.
He was offering me a seat to sit down because he was sitting at a little table, and I said to him on the bed.
Before I continue, can you give me a thumbs up? Can you hear that clearly? Can you give me a thumbs up and let me know if you can hear that clearly? So that if anything, I can adjust my audio. So give me a thumbs up if you can hear the audio clearly, please, in the comments before I go any further. All right. Thumbs up if you can hear it. All right. Okay, we're good to go. Let's go.
It's right there. He said, no, I'm fine. I went there with the intention to have to do anything like that. It's not in my, I'm not that type of girl. I'm not a loose woman. You understand? Me and my baby father left on a 7 month ago without peace. Because I don't want to have sex with dumb people. I don't live like that. It doesn't matter who you are or what you are. I don't do that. You understand? Me live with my husband for 6 years, married and living in a house. Me never give it. Me not do them something, the girl. Me's a woman of etiquette, values, and morals. People make the pretty looks fool them. People feel like because that girl is pretty, she after this. No, me have standard to my vagina. You understand? So him get up, bless, and him get up and him come over to me and only feel there was no sign. Him just fling me to the wall and put his hand on my neck and push him tongue down my throat. And I said, me push him up. And I said, what are you doing? He said, do you think you're just gonna come here and bring a CD? You're not gonna fuck me? He said, no, I didn't come here for that. I said, open this fucking door and let me go. Even the CD left. I said, open this door now and let me out. I didn't go to Beenie Man room to anything like that. When you get up and run with things and drag on woman as a female, you big girl.
Yeah.
Beenie Man for a reason. Yes, I went there for a reason. For him to help me with my fucking music that I was doing at the moment.
Wow.
Don't think music no more, girl. Me live with this trauma thing.
That is serious. That is pretty serious. So as a young woman, she went to share her music with Beenie Man. And she went into his room to talk about it, to bring her a CD so he can listen to her music, give her advice, whatever, get her a boss, whatever. And according to the allegations made by Pretty Nikki, this dancehall artist put his hands around her throat, pushed her up against the wall, and shoved his tongue down her throat, and then had expectations for her to provide favors of a physical nature in order for her to get a pass in the industry. Is this what I'm hearing? Is this what I'm hearing? So, okay, the argument is going to be that people want to go and look at the character of the individual that is involved. Huh? Look at both characters. Let's look at both characters then if we're going to do it like that. Let's look at both the characters of Beenie Man and the character of the lady that's involved. This lady, she is just herself as far as I see it. Brash, yes. Cause up her bad what them same so. But me just a ask you, regardless of whether or not on think she is the type that would have turn up for do a little more, does it give Beenie Man the authority to grab her like that and do that what him do allegedly and ask her for favors in order for her CD to be listened to? Is it the first time we have heard of the behaviors of such artists when it comes to the industry and women in the industry? And not the first time. You understand? Now, if you don't believe that this is the case, and you're thinking, no, man, I don't agree, something is off, what reason do we have to say that something is off. I really want to know what sounds off about the story. Because let me tell you something, ladies. Even if you walk your backside to a man's room, to a man's house, yes, and you are in his bedroom and you are prepared to give it up, and you are dressed in the sexiest outfits you can ever imagine. Even if you turn up in that man's room, sit on his bed, and you are thus dressed provocatively, and you stop and say, you know something, I'm no longer interested, and that man proceeds to continue, that is still an assault case. Because the moment you said that you are not interested, it is enough. But some of you women will out there and you'll justify and say, but you turn up at the man house, dressed up in a batty rider. You turn up at the man house, you're ready for do the things them. And then you come tell the man, no, the man have every right for hold it down. Because on the door have value on yourself. You understand? And when I looked at some of the comments, I looked at some of the comments underneath when the allegation first came out. I had to send it to myself because I couldn't believe what I was seeing, really. Yeah? I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I saw it. I said to myself, blasted hell. These women, they don't play. Because why would you come out and make those kind of comments? It was beyond me why they would do it. You understand? But I saw comments basically saying that she was a clout chaser, that she's a liar, that she's doing this for attention, among other things. Right? And it is so unfair how it is that once it's a child, we're probably quick to say, okay, we need to air this story. But because this is a young woman, and she would have been a young woman at the time, no doubt a teenager, we are trying to make it look like, no, sir, she did want it. Huh? We're trying to make it look like she did want it. And that we don't need to talk about this because we don't have evidence of it. I'm asking you, what evidence are you looking for? Hmm? Unfortunately, this Maxine says, let me put this comment on the screen for those of you on Facebook that can't see it. Here, Maxine says, unfortunately, there are many of these allegations coming from the entertainment industry, foreign and abroad. Exactly. So, Rich Venice says, the way the arguments construct, he's literally going to say, you're going to come here and don't give me some. The wording doesn't sound right. I don't know her mother. Neither do I know the story. What's wrong with the wording, Rich? She went into the man's place wanting him to listen to the music. And why you think that the wording doesn't sound right? How did you expect he was going to say it? This is what I'm trying to get at. Those of you who have doubt about the story, I need solid reasons. That's not a solid reason to say you're not going to come here and don't give me some. So what? You can't imagine Beenie Man saying that? Rich Venice, do you know him personally? And I'm only asking the question because I'm open to constructive debate about why it is that this story should not be believed, right? As opposed to why it is that it should. So I'm asking you, how other in which other way, in which other tone, in which other language should this man come forward and make his claims? Is there a way to say it that would sound more believable? That doesn't sound like an argument to me. Hmm? That doesn't sound like an argument to me. I needed you to come with something very, very solid as to why it is that this should not be believed. You understand? Why is it that we're saying that this should not be believed? Because there has got to be a better reason than that. Right? There has to be a better reason than that. So, hold on one second. Hold on. I'm looking at it. I'm going to find the article that came out first. Because I think I sent it to myself and it looked like I did not. Looks like I did not. So I'm going to pull it up on my phone. And then I'm going to go into some of the arguments of some of the people. There was even one person on there that turned out apparently to be connected to the lady in some way, that came up and said that she knows her and she knows her to be a liar and a troublemaker. Um, and I'm like, even if she's a liar and a troublemaker in your circumstances here, how does that qualify for what she's talking about with this? I do not understand. How is it that we are taking our personal experience with somebody and then we are totally dismissing their allegations? Because you're going like say, because you and I not like each other, you not like her. That means that our experience cannot be true. This is why I'm saying that this is the reason why a lot of people do not come out and speak. This is the reason why a lot of people do not come out and say their stories, because we're very quick to dismiss it and very quick to say nothing don't go so. And it is strange to me. Right, let me see some more comments here. PLJ, big up yourself. Hey bro Shaka, what's up? Blessed love, blessed love. Let me see what else is being said here. Make it go research. Okay, I don't know neither of them. As a matter of fact, this story is new to me for the first time hearing it. Exactly, Rich. And this is what I'm trying to say. When a story is new to you and it involves somebody who is an icon, people are very quick to dismiss it as false. This is what I'm trying to say. We shouldn't be like that. We have to give everybody an equal hearing and an equal grounds to defend their stories. Diana Green says this is nothing new. They are famous and they don't question his credibility. Right? That's all. This is what I pick up more than anything else. Right? Because it is something new. It is something that is attached to somebody who's famous. Everybody is quick to try and hide the shame. And I don't think it's right that we have that kind of attitude um when it comes to situations of rape and molestation, right? When you are in a position of power and young and impressionable female artists, up and coming female artists are trying to break through the industry, you are in a position where you can influence them in such a way. And if you are uh, an exploitative personality, you are also equally in a position to get from them whatever you want. Some are willing to give it, like Lisa Hyper. And say our demons, them are run up and down in our head right now. You understand? So some are willing to to exchange their souls for these situations. You understand? But others are not. Others are not ready for that at all and will not sell their soul for $1. You understand? So I do not understand why people are quick to jump up and say, okay, I found it. And say, oh, we do not believe. So the first article that was put out here by only one MPO had several comments underneath. So I'm going to see if I can show you on the screen so that you guys know that I'm not making this up, right? So if you take a look, I don't know how well my camera will focus, right? Because it's going to see the glare more than anything else. Can you all see? So you can see that it is on only one MPO's thing, right? And there was 409 comments underneath this posting. So she's got here alleged news. Young woman who goes by the handle Pretty Nikki alleges that she's still traumatized because of dancehall artist Beenie Man, and she can't tell her story because no one would believe her. And she was right. She straight away said, "No one will believe me. No one will believe me because she got no evidence, she got no proof, and it's all hearsay, right?" So when she comes out and she speaks, she knew instantly that she was going to get a fight. And of course, under the comments, she did. So when I looked at some of the comments, um, somebody here, and I'm not going to call your name because I don't want to call you out and embarrass you, claims he may be a lot of things, but not this. Never that I have been around him from I was underage, and he never took advantage of me then. So be careful to the label you put on people. That is somebody who is speaking about her experience. You understand? That because he never did it to her, it is impossible that he did it to another young lady. And this is the kind of stupid reasoning that I see that really makes me shake my head about some of us as women. Because may I tell you, say women run them out like this, you know. Um then not to hello, let's not say that it was all of us, huh? Some women were in the comments actually defending this young lady and wanting to get people to think for a moment that it could be true, right? This person here is a man, and he says, you know what I realized? I'm not saying nothing never happened to this woman, but every time an artist reach a certain status or come back into the spotlight to claim their throne, there's always a woman trying to take them down. Why does this have to be like that? This world is screwed up. I'm not saying this woman may not be a victim, but why at this time? Why not come out when he was not in the spotlight? So even the timing is now a reason to not come out and speak about lewd and lascivious conduct from an artist as popular as Beenie Man. What does it matter what time she come out and do it? Other than she came out in her own time. And if you're thinking that there is some capitalism behind it, meaning that he's in the limelight, therefore, now is the time for people to know the truth. When somebody is at high visibility, that's usually when the mess will come out, you know, because people who you have wronged realize that you do not deserve to be in the position you're in. Ever thought of that? That it could have prompted her reaction on that basis and that basis alone. Hmm? This one goes, and this is the woman who allegedly is connected to Pretty Nikki via her husband. And you know, there have been subsequent lives and stuff. I'm not gonna go into that because that is family matters, right? But there have been subsequent lives around this person's involvement in Pretty Nikki's life. But this is the person that was involved. And her comment was, how did she reach so far to go in his hotel room? She had an intention, but because she didn't get what she wants, she's crying wolf. I know her personally. So she's implying that Nikki went into the room hoping to get a boss based on her music. And that when she went in the room and she's implying that Beenie Man did the right thing, you know. So that means he's listened to the CD. And when he listened to the CD, he then said it's not good enough and sent her on her merry way. And because of the fact that she didn't get what she wanted, which was the music, to be acknowledged, she making up a story. Now, I am not saying that this lady who alleges that she knows her is a liar, but I'm saying everything she's saying here is equally made up. It's equally a judgment based on what she knows of her in her past relationship with a girl and not necessarily attached to this circumstance. It's not like she can say that I was with her when we went to the studio or we went to his house or wherever the hell they went. And I was inside the room and the man never do anything like that. So everything that I'm hearing here is equally circumstantial on the basis of personal gripe and feelings. So while it is that we can say, oh, Pretty Nikki shouldn't be believed because we don't have evidence, we don't have evidence that otherwise did not. You understand? We don't have evidence that otherwise did not take place. What does Shamel say? Some men just strung it and don't say anything, so I don't know why Rich no understand the argument. Rewrite that, my love. Come and understand what you're saying there, so. Even if she's a troublemaker, that still doesn't make her a liar in that instance. Exactly. Exactly, Shamel. It does not make her a liar in that instance. Speak of yourself, Linda Lightbody. Graham, I see you over Facebook. Every man guilty until it happens to their brother. Talk no man. Yes, please remember to like up the live, everybody. Both on Facebook and on YouTube. Do like up the live. It doesn't matter what she is. It doesn't give him the right to do what she said. Women today are against women. It's so sad. It is. We are our biggest enemy. You know, remember me tell you say women are our biggest enemies. We are not our sisters keepers. We are the ones who will find all the faults, all the criticism. You know, and even when I look at some of the nonsense that's happening on social media, you best not tell female friends your their secrets, because the moment when you fall out, everything fly out, because nobody have no integrity these days. You understand? And then when I look at, as I said, as I looked at the running commentary, as I looked at the commentary under the post, it was women who was basically saying that this woman is a liar more than anything else. um So the same woman that she has issues with personally said, "What the f is going on here? This gal is crazy. She come out and said her family member raped her. So why now she's coming to talk about Beenie Man? She's a manipulative person, and that's what she do. She go around and lie, even on her two baby fathers. She a look something." As I said, I am not going to say that this lady is lying either, but you're telling me that she had previously said that the family member raped her. So was this true or was this false? Is it that you're saying that she raised another case against somebody about the same kind of thing and nothing don't go so? Lady, it feels more like personal vendetta as opposed to listening to the case and giving your 2 cents on it. Right? Um, but hey, other people were giving her some good advice. For example, you have to tell your story to the JCF, Jamaica Constabulary Force, not social media. We here will pick it up after. I'm not saying he didn't do whatever it is, but no one here can help with your story, and that is the truth. But what we can do is we can get the word out. And what we can do is we can put pressure on Beenie Man to actually give a response. And what we can do is alert it to the press. Yes, we can do that. Because even though it's an allegation without proof, the press can get involved and the press can raise the ante and put it up there that there has been an allegation against Beenie Man actually committing these lewd acts against a young lady while she was in a position of wanting to become a professional artist. So while I do not discredit that social media is the best place for this, I also agree that the Jamaica Constabulary Force should have been made aware. And the question is that I would put to Pretty Nikki is, why didn't you report it? Why didn't you report it through professional and formal channels? And you know what I think? I think she didn't report it because of the circumstance, because it's hard to prove, because she knows that it would not be taken seriously, because she knows that where things like this are concerned, the system often fails the victims. And there's been far too many instances of this, far too many instances of it, right? Um, when I look at some of the happenings on social media around our children, and it's not just a Jamaica thing, it's a Caribbean wide thing, it's a worldwide thing where systems just fail. And many times they have the opportunity to rescue children, and children just get thrown to the wolves, right? Without anybody batting an eyelid. I don't know if you heard about that case that was discussed by Popeyes with the little girl who came on to his program to talk about the fact that they're accusing her and her brother of taking the life of their stepfather, burning him in his property. And when the little girl share her story and say why it is that she and this man are estranged, the little girl was being interfered with from she was 11 years old up until she was 13, where she, or 13 or 14, one of them, where she give birth. So she had a baby for the man. And when she was little and she told her mother, say her mother tell her say that the mother tell her say that the man was not in his right mind, the man is drunk when him do it, and therefore the mother was willing to forgive that man. Huh? How the mother all a ball when the man dead? Same don't deserve that death. Hmm. The law in Jamaica would not believe her. Exactly. A lot would not believe her. Them a go look on her and say, you's a little wild girl. You go a artist yard, but you want get your music boss. And you go there go fling it up on the man, forget the music boss, and the man they want you come and I tell we like. Just like how some of the comments were regarding the situation. Right? So that's why I'm saying that when you guys say it don't sound like Beenie Man language, but Rich Venice, this is what I'm trying to say. Do you know Beenie Man? That's what I'm asking you, Rich. Do you know Beenie Man? Have you spoken to him? Do you know him personally? For you to say that it doesn't sound like his language, do you know Beenie Man personally? To know how the man talk? Because me no know him. The only thing I know about Beenie Man was that Beenie Man was discovered in Tasty Talent competition. And that's where our paths went in different directions. Right? That's where I met Beenie Man first. And I'm asking you, do you know him personally to know that he would or he would not say that? Because you have to have sound background behind anything that you're claiming. Yes, are you claiming that on the basis of a hunch, or are you claiming that on the basis of fact? You know from the media, but that's not enough to know somebody rich. It shouldn't even be uttered. That's not something that you know. When you are seeing somebody on the media, Beenie Man doesn't run a podcast. He doesn't run a talk show. For you to know what kind of language he uses in different contexts. All you see is Beenie Man, the artist, presented in public. This is not what Beenie Man would sound like when him in the bedroom with him girl. Right? It's not enough for you to say that this is not how he speaks. But how it was said. But like I'm still you're still holding on to the point, and the point has no basis. The point, yeah, like him go in the bedroom go say Zagazo. See him Saddam. Yes. I'm saying that your point has no basis. Because at the end of the day, you don't know how the man speaks when he's in informal situations. You don't know. And this is how people will pull the wool over your eyes into thinking they're not this type of person. And then by the time you look, they're a different cup of tea altogether. Please don't misunderstand me. That's why I'm asking you, Rich, to explain yourself. Explain yourself. Make it make sense. Bro Shaka says, "Me lose half of him." Let me put this comment on the screen so that my Facebook people can see. Me lose half of him when him compare himself to Bob Marley, saying him have more number one song than Bob. Oh dear. Well, that will never ever happen. Which summer, which holiday? You understand? It just not gonna work like that. We are laugh about Tommy. What are you laughing about? So what about how you think he speaks? Lady, you don't know what anyone capable of doing behind doors. But I tell you, Shamel, It's nothing to do with that. Yeah. I'm just saying to you though, really and truly, we don't know these people in our real life. We don't, right? We can only know what is presented to us on media. Okay. And you will form your opinions and your judgments based on that. I am saying that when you have a story like this, we shouldn't be caught sleeping on it, because the most unassuming characters can be the biggest monsters, right? But likewise, even if he's innocent, it's a serious allegation to which he should respond. He shouldn't ignore it, because all we are going to do on social media here is that we are going to ensure that it keeps echoing until it connects. And sometimes it might connect to people of power, and sometimes it might connect to people of influence. The point is, when something like this comes out against your name and you remain silent, it can also be assumed that you're blasted guilty, or you haven't heard it yet. So we have to keep doing the do and making sure that the wheels keep turning, and that subjects like this are constantly spoken about so that it gets to the right places. Because how is it that this young lady is coming forward with such an allegation, and our instant reaction, knee jerk reaction, is to silence the topic, stop talking about it, blame the victim, claim that he's innocent, when none of us were flies on the wall? Even that lady that is coming out to basically say that pretty Nikki is a troublemaker, she's a liar, she's known for this, she's known for that, still was not present on the occasion in the situation. She wasn't there. So if she is this person that is unwell, so unwell, yes, your way of reacting and dealing with it is full of venom and enmity. You are not reaching out and going, Nikki, what the hell are you doing? You know, no, say you're not doing the right thing. Why are you coming up with this story? At first, you said that a family member touched you. Now you're saying that it's Beenie Man. You never reached out to her on a one-to-one. So that shows us in the public that you don't mean her any well. That you also have personal issues with the girl. So how are we supposed to listen to you either? Hmm? How are we going to listen to you either? And I'm not saying that you are lying, but the way you have handled it shows that you are here for vengeance too. You know, like the girl. So it's not a case of, listen, guys, she's not a well person. I'm going to leave it at that. No, you come with blood in your eye. And subsequently, you have gone on other lives and done other damage. And as I said, I'm not going to touch that part of the topic because that's between you and Nikki. But this subject is close to the purpose of my platform. And it's really about Jamaicans for justice. So if it is that Beenie Man has faced such an allegation, it's not one that should be silenced. And press needs to hear it. That's if Nikki is brave enough to go forward with her allegations so that it gets to the highest pinnacle and gets to the ears of who matter. Because that's what a lot of people will fear more than anything else. Bickering on social media is not going to get this story any further. And that's why I reached out to you, Nikki, but you know, Sam is a serious woman. So if you step into my parlor, you know that you have to mean business. Right. Um Shamel, I like you. Tammy says, see, that's why Tanya Stevens and Lady Saw up until this day haven't called the names of the alleged perpetrators. No, because all kinds of bad things can happen in terms of how their career gets handled, right? They're going to end up with blocks to their success. And them don't want that. If a trouble or not, no one can say for sure she's lying. Yes, she may be all of those things, but that don't mean she's lying about Beanie. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And it really does make me look at Beenie Man in a different light. It does, right? Because it's clear that if something like this is in your capability, she may not be the only one. She may not be the first or the last. It's just that some may have been willing, and she clearly was not willing. But you can imagine that there may have been others who were not willing either. How far did you go if the allegations are true? How far did you go? You know, I'm going to say something controversial. Hmm. Give a controversial opinion. Lisa Hyper was also a victim of molestation, was also a victim of being exploited in the industry. Let's go there. Let's really and truly go there. And who was her perpetrator? Who's brave enough to type it? Now, people might be saying, no, 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 hang on a minute. These are two consensual adults, doing the things. Whatever it is that she wants to do, she's free to do it. If she wants to go and put things in her mouth, she can do that. Nothing wrong with it. Them are two adults. But what happened to that video afterwards? Yeah? Talk the man, Tammy. Look at what Kelsey said. I told you that nobody's gonna be brave enough to talk about it. Huh? Who exploited Lisa Hyper? Who exploited her really? Think carefully. One brave soul. One brave soul. Here was a girl who was desperate to make it in the industry. What made Lisa think that she needed to get like that with Cartel? And when that was done, and it was videoed by the person who's on my screen, how did that video come out? How was it leaked? Why was it leaked? Was it punishment? Was it blackmail? But nobody don't want to talk about that because Cartel is your favorite. Not true. Why is Cartel feeling it necessary now to throw money at Lisa? Even though now he's unfollowed her on Instagram. And I'm sure you've heard about that, right? Based on her current behavior and her state of mind and her nude video that's gotten leaked as well. I mean, who put her in that position where she had to be submissive to Cartel and his group of artists to do what she's told? Hmm? Okay. What is this? Sizzling hot? What are you talking about? Let me just put you in a little timeout for writing rubbish on my screen. Okay? Yeah, you're in timeout. And let me get rid of your comment. So let me see this now. He ended her career. Correct. He ended her career. He did. And now he, out of guilt, I'm gonna care what nobody say a guilt. A guilt make Cartel I invest so much in a Lisa Hyper. But Lisa Hyper is broken. She has mental health issues and she has been broken, and she's been broken from that situation, especially. And he might try help her for rebuild out of guilt. I said what I said. So certain people would get a pass when it comes to the treatment of young girls, underage girls, women, on the basis of status and position. And it continues to be a vicious cycle in our society. Continues to be one. Yes? And when we get to that point where we are willing to cover up for people on the basis of favoritism, the favorites will take advantage of exactly that. They'll go, I can do this because I'm a favorite. I can interfere with people because I'm a favorite. You understand? Um, and this is why we have to have a different mindset. We have to work on our mindset. We have to make sure. Hold on, guys. I am just checking something on my phone. We have to make sure that no matter who it is, we give them equal. We give them equal treatment, equal investigation, equal in terms of how we react. You can't be just expecting this kind of behavior from certain man with up on the road, like the man that took the life of that little girl. Hmm? Now all that the case there. How is it that this little girl in our apartment and all of this take place and nobody do hear until it get to that point of fatality? This what kind of community this? This is one of the strangest cases I have ever heard, where this little girl is being raped, bludgeoned, hmm? Getting knifed, and this girl has screamed out for murder, and nobody no hear except that one brave soul that managed to come forward, and by the time him come, everything done happen already. The circumstance around this is very strange. Very, very strange. It just sound now this is a story when I sound right. This one is a story when I sound right. And I'm going to explain why this particular story don't sound right. They're claiming that this girl was in the room, that the door is never usually locked. The mother was not present, right? The mother, I don't know, up to this point, I don't know where that mother was when this did take place. The man push in and go into the place, right? Go into the enter the room and assaulted the young lady, and then did the knife act, beat her dreadfully. Nobody don't hear, excepting towards the end after the grievous assault had taken place. Yes, yes, yes. Do you know, Tammy, I had actually written to Mountain and asked them to take it down, and I think the family members did as well. They took it down because it was disgusting, that video. You understand? Just think about it, people. And when I listened to the interview of the mother, she said something quite important. She said, I don't know the man. I've never seen him before. So how do you know that the man is mad? I'm asking a question, and it's a question worth asking. How do you know that the man is a madman? How do you know that the man is mad? If you have never met the man, you don't know the man personally, you don't know of the man, you've never seen the man before in your life. How do you know that the man is a madman? Diana Green on YouTube says, I don't think it's a mentally ill person. I think it's a bad man. Spain is hot right now. I think everyone is afraid. Yes. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. There's a reason why nobody heard any screams until after the act was nearly done. So, what I don't like is that the people on TikTok were busy saying that the girl bad and a man she love and Ray. Let me tell you something. Either way you take it, this is a minor. And either way you take it, this is a grown man. So whether or not she was in what she in her head considers to be a consensual relationship with a man, she can't consent once him is an adult and she's a minor. And that's the critical discussion that you guys are not having. Una just think say her crotch hot. And a man she bring in her room and it turn into a domestic situation and the man take her life. That is what Una saying. But what you guys are not looking at is the fact that that man should not have been there in the first blasted place. Because she's a minor. She was a kid. And whichever man that she's involved in because he has Groomed, come I can't say the G word, by YouTube. He's groomed her into thinking that she's special enough. Doesn't mean that she was a bad girl. It means that she was conditioned to accept his dirty ways. And we're just going on the basis of the fact that there are holes in the story that don't make sense. Right? For this man to target that particular door that is never locked. He knows it wasn't locked. A man that has never been seen before, nobody knows him, was clearly watching and knew exactly when that mother was not present, and knew when he could go into the door, and knew that the door was not locked, and knew that the daughter was there, and knew that she was in the room. And if it was a case of this is a madman that has entered, the alarm that should have been raised would have been magnanimous. It would have been great from the get go, because a man came on the scene to help her, to rescue her. But if that man come on the scene to help and rescue her, and by the time that man has entered on the scene, everything has taken place already, then the alarm wasn't being raised while certain things were taking place. Come on, common sense. Common sense. So, Tammy says some residents said the man was seen lurking around the building earlier in the day. Now, is what kind of garrison this? Is what kind of garrison this where a strange man can just lurk around the place? So when they get loose down there, because I don't know of garrison around like this. Hmm? We don't know of garrison around like this that people can just lurk around the place all day so. And no man no step to him and ask him who him, who you brother. Is that how we're doing it? That's a whole heap of knowings, isn't it, bro? Shaka, it's a whole heap of knowings that man must have been studying. But this is a thing that really gets to me in this case, more than anything else. Just like what Tammy says here. I've always said that Jamaicans love blame minors too much. The adult is the decision maker and know right from wrong. Exactly. This child was how old? She was what, 13, 14? Come on, man. Her brain is not even halfway developed as it should be when it comes to understanding that some pleasure signals are not pleasure at all, that it's abuse. Hmm? And you guys want to take the child and make the child look like, say, she's a loose girl. And you can't tell because everything did not happen already. That's not the point. The point is that she was groomed by this man over a period of time, if it's a man that she actually knew. Just think it through. Either way you take it, that man is indeed a sick individual. And just one of the many that's walking around in our communities, in our society in Jamaica without any kind of checks and balances on them. So there are so many that are having access to underage girls, it isn't funny. And we normalize these behaviors, treat it like it is no big deal. Like I said, that story that Tammy, I was the one who actually alerted me to it on Popeyes. And when I listened to it, I had to shake my head. I said, wow, listen to the mother's response. Hmm? Listen to the mother's response. The mother said, him did drunk. I drunk him did drunk. That's why him touch her. And it never stopped. And I don't know if you listened. One of my subscribers also sent me the Twins of Twins 2-part story, right? And this was about a jacket situation, but it turned out to be a multi-layered story where a little girl and her stepdad, the stepdad had been grooming her constantly, right under the mother's nose, and the mother seems to be aware of it. But because the mother don't want a situation where she not get her things, her sweets, she turned a blind eye. Mother used to facilitate the little girl staying behind while them gone at church or gone on the road. While the mother and her other kids gone on the road. Will I leave the little girl behind to cook dinner with the stepfather? Turn the little girl in a woman a yard. Go on over the Twins of Twins station on YouTube and go listen for yourself. The level of sickness that is happening in our society. So when I say that the sex offenders list being private is a big problem in Jamaica, only thing is a joke. That thing needs to be public like yesterday. And there is so many more that needs to be added to it. You understand? And until those times, you are going to be having monsters right beside you with your children in their laps. And you won't be doing anything about it. Remember the case of the Immaculate Conception high teacher and the students. Same way in mold the people them picnic until he take advantage of her. Of course. And we know a lot of teachers that do that. That Immaculate Conception teacher, film on it bust out. But even when I was going to Arden, we didn't know of it. And we grew up in a silencing culture where you just don't talk about it, you don't tell. As kids, you just don't tell. You just know, say, oh, teacher, check the girl there. And you keep quiet. There needs to be an intervention when it comes to the awareness of our kids. There needs to be straight lined mechanisms for reporting. In other words, children need to have access to a free phone number that can be dialed from their cells that will not need credit if they need to report a case. And there needs to be trained adults on the receiving end of that information who knows the protocol when it comes to acting. Jamaica don't have no child line. When I listened to that little girl on Popeye's story talking about how she had to run away to her auntie, it seems so the lady we call me whose voice note I played said she had to run away to her auntie because the mother said that she done mash up her relationship and that's why she had to run to her auntie. Same way, so. Just imagine if they could pick up the phone and say, this just happened to me. And that there was a protocol in place for immediate rescuing. But no, the government is not going to invest in that. Yet it is becoming such a big problem. Hmm? When I say the cases of children being targeted has not only doubled, it's tripled, it's quadrupled in the past few years, especially since COVID. Um, yes, it started at 11. That's right, Rosemary. It started at 11. This comment, I grew up in a ghetto. I had some friends during our teen years, and sometimes they did when it comes on to older men with them. I had to separate myself most of the time. My mom would kill me. Yeah, yeah. There was a lot of girls that I knew that them used to target like bus drivers, conductors. Um, when them go a half a tree, them go a half a tree, go hang out with the bus driver them and the conductor them. They would get in exchange money. The cash in them hand was often used as a lure to those girls because the mother give them peel off $100, yes, $100 there, so they'd get free transport. They were taught to hustle their bodies in exchange for favors, you understand, as a part of their survival mechanism, and oftentimes their mothers knew about it and encouraged it because in the mother's head, at least a big man will look after you. Big man will look after you. A big man will care for you. A big man will take the stress and the burden off of your mother. So They don't look at it as sick behavior, sick men targeting their girls. No, they look at it as a way out. So poverty has a great deal to do with the mindset of some of these mothers, and also repeated cycles of abuse. Because when you listen to the story on the Twins of Twins channel, you will hear that the mother who facilitated and put the situation with her daughter and the stepfather under the carpet was also a victim as a child, where her mother did exactly the same thing. So she repeated that cycle and ended up doing it to her own child. You understand? Um, so when I say that Jamaica does not have any safety um things in place for children to report situations like this, it's a serious, serious problem. There needs to be an improvement in our infrastructure where children are prioritized. You don't see how much violence is happening in our schools. A lot of it is a cry out for help, as a result of things that's going on in the household. And all matters of abuse needs to be rapidly responded to. And if children had the power and the authority to make calls, to make reports, to get an immediate response, it would deter. I say it gonna get rid of the problem. Because when them man they sick, they're sick. And some women sick too. Let's just not twist things, because some women are also doing the things them. But I'm saying that it may not erase the problem, but it would deter a lot of them. It would make them uncomfortable. Right now, Jamaica is too comfortable for predators. It's a comfort zone. Hmm? Where they can run riots through our youth. Or we need to start to make the environment uncomfortable for them. And the only way to make it uncomfortable for them is to look into how the cases are handled. Because how many more children are going to be failed by the system? Educating the mindset of the people is what's going to shift the dynamics. Targeting the mind. You need to get to that counseling in schools to let children know and understand what grooming is, what it looks like, how it presents itself. But it's pointless giving them this knowledge. And then when the circumstance meets, they've got no power to actually make a report and to alert a trustworthy adult, because often the trustworthy adult is not in them house. Them can't trust them mother. From the looks of things, even from the records and the research that has been conducted, mothers have been one of the number one enemies of their own children, persistently hiding things and not reacting in the appropriate manner. If there were severe penalties for even that, some would think twice. So I don't really know what Jamaica is dealing with. Why it is that we have these children in these situations and there is absolutely no solution for them to get a voice out. That people like me have to come on social media every day and beat my gums and talk about it. And other people out there talking about justice for Jay, etc. And every single day, so I not like people, I not like say we get the case them once a month, once every 3 months, twice a year. No. Every single day, so we just get more and more circumstances throwing up about this being a problem, and the Jamaican government stays silent. Broshaka says, believe it or not, some of these tourist men come to Jamaica for just that, because the age of consent is 16. Let me not tell you. Yeah, that's exactly it. A lot of them do that. Them come there because, as I said, Jamaica makes it comfortable for predatory men and women to exist. They had the Dirty Man campaign where that song was constantly echoing all over the place. But we can't just sing it. What happens when it happens? At what point are we going to say, listen, our children need a reporting mechanism that is free, accessible, and on the end of that, we need trained adults, and those trained adults need to have a set protocol: what to do, who to call next, when to respond, how to respond, and then your systems need to fall in line and their budget allocated. Gonna invest all on the time in the big hard Batman them, which some of them named upon the list. We wanna keep quiet about. Some of those names are on the list. Is the government silence because they're desensitized, or is it that they are complacent? I would say that the word that you should be looking for is complicit, because some of those men in those high places are very much a part of the problem. I remember when my father wouldn't allow me to stay in the back of the bakery where the men were. One of them said, "My father acted like him want to sleep with me. My daddy was strict." He would say that, you know. You know why he's saying that? To put your father off, Linda? He's saying that your father is like that because he wants to have access to you and your father guard you. And just because of resentment, him turn on and make that derogatory comment. Your father was a good father because he knew the kind of men that were around there. He was aware of it. Right? Lala, let's see that comment. Hey Tina, what's up? Nice to see you on Facebook. We're over on YouTube and on Facebook today. Jamaican government will never put out an official register because it would implicate and expose plenty of the government, also other officials. Many of them have dirty secrets. La 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 la, just like your name. Exactly the point. Which is why the public, as in us, needs to start doing it. I tell you that we need to start that Facebook page, but I don't want to run it. I don't want to run it, but I will happily be a part of the setup. I want some people who have got the time to monitor it, right? Because I can't take on another page right now. I am happy to post people's details on my YouTube and community channel and on my Facebook page, but I want it to be done on in an official group. Oh, sizzling hot! I'm so sorry. Did I had to put you on timer because I wasn't sure if you were a spammer. Oh my gosh! Oh, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to show you how it comes up on on my screen. It wasn't making any sense, and I thought somebody's either hacked your account or something. Look, you misunderstood my compliment to you and put me in timeout, man. Face pink tears, face pink tears, face pink. That's how it appears. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that, and I'm glad I never blocked. Because I thought it was somebody must have hacked you or somebody is spamming, and all it came up with was these facing things. So no, I'm sorry. I did not understand your compliment to me, and I apologize for putting you on timeout. Okay? Yes, her father was the best dad. As I got older and hear all the stories, I realized that what he was protecting me from. Yeah, he was protecting you. And there's so many fathers who are like that, and they're like that for good reason, because they are hearing the bar talk, and they're hearing the talk off air, and they know that the kind of men that are around are heavily invested in underage girls. And it's a good father that protects their daughter to that extent, you know but all I'm saying is, people, as I said, there are so many cases of failed care, failed protection, be it by the adults involved, or the services involved. Even CDA, you can't invest in all of them, because many times by the time these services get involved, it's too late, and a lot of damage has been done. You understand? A whole lot of damage has been done. I'm trying to pull up the case that was on Mel's page, right? So I'm going to show you another situation because even where when it comes to unregulated services and how things can happen within those services as well, we have issues. Just like our fellow Caribbean brothers and sisters, right? So this parent wrote in to Melly, who is a blogger, but she's a Guyanese blogger. I follow her and I read her stuff and I watch her all the time because she don't play. And I love her style of blogging. When it comes to investigatory blogging, if uno thinks that me go hard, uno need to go over a Mel page because she don't play. Right? So anyway, the person sent her this message. Hi, Miss Melly. Good morning. My name is Imani. My son Nicholas was living with his father and his father's wife because I suffered a mental breakdown 5 years ago and his father took him. It was a piece of time for me get to see him. Eventually, I got to see him every other weekend. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. I came off the internet for a moment. You read the comments again, you nearly ball. Oh God, I will. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because it came out is the way it came out on my screen. For some reason when I'm using Restream when it comes to the emojis and stuff, some of them come out funny. Anyway, let me carry on. So she suffered a mental breakdown 5 years ago, and it took some time for her to be able to see her child every other weekend, right? Fast forward to last year, October 12th, that was my weekend to collect him, and that I did. She took him home to feed him along with his other siblings and put them to bed, cleaned up, and was preparing food for bed as well. When I was fixing them on the bed, I saw marks on my child's skin. So I called my husband and asked him to see if it's what I think it is. And he saw it and said, yes, somebody beat him. He said to me, don't wake him up now. Wait until in the morning so he would be fully aware of what I'm asking and what he's saying. I said, okay. So she waited until her son woke up the following morning so he'd be fully aware. And she asked, Nicholas, what happened to your skin? She said, Auntie Shawana beat him. So Shawana is the father woman, right? So the stepmom. I asked him why she beat you. He said some little child she looks after in the after school club, right, was playing with his school book. And she told the son, don't let the child play with the book. But the child was still playing with it. And she waited until the child's parents collected him and then beat her son. The mother then took the child to the station, made 4 different reports, took him to the hospital, did a medical, 7 bruised ribs, and a concussion to the forehead was the conclusion. Mind you, when she collected him in the afternoon before, he was crying, saying that he had a headache. So this child has already been conditioned not to talk. Keep by your mouth, don't talk. You understand? Um, so she went to child services and made a report. And they carried out a meeting with her and the child's father and so on. Thinking that they would have moved the child or her, but the child is still in the same school where the woman does the after school club. And the woman is still in the school doing the after school club. The child still has a dent in one of his ribs. And she's asking for justice and so on and so forth. And she sent pictures, and this is the reason why I didn't screenshot this and stuff because she sent pictures of the child's body and all the bruises on the child. But she also sent a picture of the woman. I wondering if I can, yeah. Don't know if y'all can see how clear this will be if I come close. See the chat, see the woman there? That's the abuser. That is her. Right? That is her. Okay? And she run an after school club in a school. They've reported everything. She still have her job. The child still has to go to the same school and see his abuser every day. And no child services is involved. So I'm just trying to show you that systems persistently fail our children right across the board. The entire Caribbean need a whole overhaul. Yes? A whole overhaul of how we tackle these situations. And it's very, very sad. So when we talk about justice for Jay, I keep telling you guys that our justice over here is Jamaicans for justice overall. We have to look at the broader picture. There are so many who continue to suffer in silence and not speak out and are afraid to speak out. And often the mentality of the people who are receiving the reports is what stops these reports from happening, which is why I said, Jamaican government, we need a dedicated child line. We need a dedicated team. We need allocated services to rescue the youth in the island. Stop sleeping on this. Our statistics look terrible. And these illnesses where predators flaunt their behavior in public view needs to become a point of awareness in our education and making sure that parents and adults are aware of how to respond to things like this and aware of the fact that this is not normal. Because what they do, they take their little dirty ways and they leave from the island and they migrate and they start to spread it further afield. And in a big foreign, when they get caught, the system don't play. And the punishment is severe. Of course, PLJ. The Caribbean also needs to stop traumatizing our children and calling it discipline. That's a fact. That's a fact. And overall, indeed, because the mindset is it happened to me, I'm never unalive, me still there. So proper child advocacy is needed soonest. It really is needed soonest. I bet that some of the children, including young boys and women, have been unalived because of being a threat to the secrets of officials in so-called high places, so-called police and soldier too. You're damn right. And because we've got no mechanism for children to speak out and report things, um, it's like by the time the report is to be made, all the crucial evidence and everything that is necessary is lost, and it just end up being a dead end situation. It's a dead end situation. You understand? Who is going to tell a little girl or a little boy that if you have been assaulted in a physical way, don't shower? Go straight to the police station. Don't shower. Who's going to tell them that? That the kit is necessary. In the first 24 hours, we need you to not shower. So many things that are missing from the awareness of our people. And when I read comments like I read under Pretty Nikki's post on Only One Empo and see the reaction of the public to it, and the sad mindset that we have, um, it's worrying and it's concerning because these are the reasons why migrants like myself will never want to grow my children in that island because I'm thinking I cannot guarantee their safety. And even here, yes, okay, let's not get it twisted. We have them over here as well. But there are mechanisms, there are ways that children can even save themselves. You understand? And they get the services and they get the response that's necessary. And the law over here is severe when it comes to these people. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining A Touch of Class with HTK today. Big up on the nice green stuff. Make sure that you like the live as you exit the class. I hope I've given you some food for thought. And, let's be more open minded and more appreciative of the strength that it takes for women and for men to come forward and share their stories of victimization. Don't try and silence them. Don't try and shut them up. Don't try to make it look like anything they're saying doesn't make sense. All right. You need to appreciate that these are their experiences and it really is for them to face those demons in their own time. There is no best time to divulge situations like that, except in the best time for them. All right. Bless up yourselves. And once again, if you are new to my channel or new to my page on Facebook, make sure you hit that follow. If you're new to my channel on YouTube, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button and double click that bell so that you get all notifications for when I upload new content or I come live. All right. Have yourself a wonderful Saturday, a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you guys later. This is your girl, Head Teacher K, and I'm out. Bye bye.